Hey guys, this is Cameron with Addicted Fishing and Guide and Catch and Guide Service, and in this tutorial we're going to be showing you guys how to set up a sliding float for salmon, steelhead, or trout. Now for demonstration purposes, we're going to be setting this up for steelhead. However, you could also use this with larger bobbers, larger weights for like salmon fishing deep holes with like big baits, eggs, and stuff. First what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my braided line and I'm going to run a pre-made bobber stop up the line a little ways, and I'll slide the knot off the tube and then cinch down the knot just lightly. Next, I'll follow that up with a very tiny bead, which would be my bobber stop bead, which won't go past the knot if pulled on. Following the bobber stop bead, I'm going to add a large corky, but more on that in just a minute. Now I'll slide on my float, followed by another bead that's going to protect my knot when I tie it to my swivel or my weight. And after all that, I'm going to tie my weight on. But what I'm going to make sure to do is that my weight is going to match up to the size of my bobber. I'll just use a simple double clinch here. So here's the basic setup, but what I have done here is I've actually trimmed my tag ends on my bobber stop just a little bit short, but long enough to where I can still grab them and retighten the knot. Sometimes these knots are known to be getting loose over time in use. Alright, so now that my setup is complete, I just tied on a steelhead jig just for demonstration, but this could be a pink worm, a betta eggs, beads, anything that you want to offer the fish. Back to the corky though. The significance of the corky is that if this setup is fishing properly and the weight's being pulled down from the bobber, that corky should be perched up on top of that bobber at all times. If you cast this presentation out and this corky is laying beside the bobber, that means that you've got some kind of tangle going on here down below, or that this line can get wrapped up around the main line like so. And what that will do is it will prevent the corky from being pulled to the top of your bobber. Now why that's important is just because if you're trying to make the perfect drift for steelhead or salmon, it just alerts you right away that something's wrong and you can bring your gear in and you can fish more efficiently. Alright guys, using a slide float is one of the most versatile presentations that we can have for salmon and steelhead and trout, but it's also extremely effective with panfish and walleye. So if you guys like what you saw here, be sure to leave us a comment down below and tell us what other techniques and tips and tricks that you guys would also like to see, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you guys on the water.